Yo, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Bobby D, and I'm back again with another hot, juicy video. And tonight I have a special guest. He was a former college athlete, rugby star, fitness trainer, business owner, the man, the myth, the legend himself, James Mooney.
What's up, man?
Thanks for being on my channel, man. How you been?
I'm looking good, man.
I know you're just looking bigger and bigger every time I see you, man.
Trying
260.
Trying to. I'm not 260 right now. Dropped a little bit of weight. So.
Getting cut for the summer. Right?
Yeah, trying to get boat ready for the summer.
And I know I can tell the audience, we met, I guess, on Instagram, back in 2016, I think.
Yeah, that was back in
your other company,
back in the Gunsmith days.
The Gunsmith days, yeah. A young James.
Yeah, that's a long time ago, man.
Yeah, and then I remember we met, I guess it was 2018 in Austin. I guess you're doing some like gym convention. And
yeah, I was out here for a seminar. Yeah, we met up.
Met the legend.
Went out down on 6th Street. Had a little bit
time.
Too much fun.
Yeah, and after that, I guess you were sold and you had to come to Austin, or what brought you here?
I just kind of needed a change, I was living in Oregon the last decade, and I was kind of like just getting kind of stagnant there, and just wanted to pick a place where I thought there might be more stuff going on, and it was kind of like a toss. It was like Austin sounded really cool because like everyone was moving here, and then it was like Nashville or maybe somewhere in Florida. And I just kind of settled on Austin. Yeah, and here we are.
I haven't looked back at you.
No, it's been cool. Austin's a really cool spot. Like, there's so much stuff to do. Like, food, like just the comedy scene, the live music scene, the fitness scene's really big out here too. Like, there's so many big names out here and just awesome gyms. So it's a cool spot.
Yeah. So you're one of the up and comers.
I don't know about all that.
The legend, man.
The legend.
But yeah, I know you're always at the comedy clubs. Apparently, that's like your thing.
Yeah, I like
the mothership.
I like that. I like live comedy. It's a good outlet, and the comedy scene out here is wild. Like, I have a few friends that do it like on a lower level, and I've gone out and seen them, and then obviously gone to Rogan's spot, and then there's just like a bunch of new other comedy locations that have opened up in the last year, even just since I've been here. So that's like a really huge scene. Like, there's so many big name comedians that live out here now or come out here. So it's
just the place to be, man. I was the same way. Came from a small town, Waco, and then all my friends are here. And my sister now, and I just always something to do. So it's always a good thing.
That and the food are like the biggest. Like, there's so much food. The food, I love the food. There's so much good food here.
That is,
and like, there's always like a new restaurant opening up out here, and it's like, it's hard to keep track.
Trucks too.
Yeah, the food trucks. Although the food trucks kind of bug me a little bit because it's like you're paying like sit down prices for like something that you like have to eat in your hand or something. So I get a little bugged out with that, but like there's some really good food trucks.
True that, man. And I was gonna ask you, what kind of your story, man? You're big into fitness now, obviously. You're doing great, no homo. But you work. What got you? And you just grew up playing football. Is that what your thing was?
Yeah, I started working out obviously to be better at football. I wanted to get a scholarship back in high school, and so I started working out when I was 14, but not like seriously. Like I was 150 pounds, so it was like my working out was like currently like 20-pound bars or whatever. But so I started working out then, and then I took it really seriously. Like when I got to sophomore, junior year, got really into it. Bought one of they didn't really have, YouTube wasn't a thing back in the day. So like in order to get information on working out, like you had to know somebody that was working out, or like the magazines back in like Flex magazine or Muscle and Fitness, or I bought this book back in the day. It was written by the strength and conditioning coach at the University of North Carolina. He wrote out a book and had like a whole off-season program. And I bought that at Barnes & Noble, and I just followed that for like the entire off-season. Went from like 150 pounds, and then my senior year I got up to like 210.
Oh dang, that's a big.
So yeah, and
260. So
but then and then I kept going through college, and then after I got done with college, and the NFL thing didn't work out, I just wasn't fast enough, athletic, and I just wasn't good enough. And so after that fell through, I kind of started training people. I started doing strength and conditioning for the university I went to. I ended up being the head strength coach there for a couple of years, and then there's no money in there, and so I needed to make money, and so I started doing private training, and then I started Gunsmith right after that, and we ended up opening our own gym a couple years into that, and we had our own gym for a few years, and that was dope. I was just training like athletes, military, first responders, like serious people. It was pretty cool. When then eventually Gunsmith shut down, we split Gunsmith up, kind of parted ways, and I ended up working for this defense contractor, doing some marketing for them, doing some fitness consulting for them as well, and started just mainly doing online stuff, or online training, and then eventually moved out to here to Austin, and so now I'm just doing kind of training online and in person, and then I have my supplement company that I started back in 2020 now, actually.
Yeah, and the piggyback off that, like, how's that going? Like, I know it's a big thing, the BlastHouse. I'm repping the shirt.
Yeah,
BlastHouse.
BlastHouse.
Have to, you know.
Yeah, it's cool. It's been an interesting journey. Like, I got into it like really excited about it. Like, I was like, finally, I was gonna start making supplements for like that I want, flavors that I want, putting things in it that I want, and I want high quality stuff. Like, I don't want to buy bullshit. So I figured, and a lot of people kind of resonated with that, and they liked the idea behind it. And so we launched. It was really successful. And literally like a week after we launched, the shutdown happened. Like, COVID happened, and so like everything shut. The entire country shut down, and supply chain shut down, and manufacturing shut down. And then prices skyrocketed for raw materials, and so that was like a very challenging, like 2 years almost, and lost a lot of momentum there, but learned a lot of things, and so it's going well. It's kind of like in this transition period where I'm kind of like rebranding it a little bit, and working on kind of focusing in on specific products that I want to release, as opposed to like an entire line of supplements. Like, so yeah, it's going. It's a learning experience, and it's one of those things where it's not like, it's never going to be an overnight success. Like, but that's how most things are, and a lot of people give up before they get to that point of like actually reaching some success. Like, because it's supposed to be hard. It's not like, there's no such thing as like an overnight success. That person's been working for years to get to that point. So yeah,
I agree. I mean, for me, for example, I started YouTube, 4 years ago, and then it's just, as I guess 6 months ago, I finally got monetized, and I'm actually kind of reaping the benefits of it now. So it's a grind. So.
It takes a while, and then eventually you'll get there, as long as you keep working at it. It's like, it's one of those things where it's like, if you stop too early, like, you'll never actually get, like, I remember I posted my first YouTube video back in like 2012, and like, this was back before like anybody was really posting like seriously fitness content on YouTube. I mean, there was some fitness content, but it wasn't like that much. And it was like, I posted like 5 or 6 videos, and they got like a lot of views back then, because it was like a much different algorithm and stuff. So I think I posted a couple videos, and they had like, I posted like 5 videos, and I think they probably had like 70, 80,000 views together.
It's still a lot though.
It's a lot. But I was like, what am I gonna do with this? Like, so I stopped posting. But it's like one of those things where it's like, if I just kept posting there, like, it would have been much different, right? It's the same thing. It's like, if you're not willing to commit to it and stick with it, you're never gonna see the results out of that.
That's true. Very true.
And you miss a lot of opportunities by not sticking with it, right? But
exactly, I agree. And I was gonna ask you another thing. You're very popular on Instagram.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that at all. I wouldn't say that at all.
How do you? I mean, I guess my question is, how would for somebody trying to grow their social media account, what would you say to that? Because you have a lot of followers.
I don't know if I would consider myself very versed in Instagram. Like, I was
make some good TikToks.
I was blessed to build my part of my social media back when it was a lot easier to build your social media. Now there's a lot more saturation in certain things, like fitness in particular, right? Let's talk about that. Fitness, there's a lot of fitness influencers. There's a lot of people posting content on Instagram. And so, like, at the end of the day, you have to differentiate yourself somehow. And I think a lot of that comes from yeah, it's okay to see what other people are posting, be like, oh, I should post something similar to that. But like a lot of times you'll see people just take that and they'll just try to replicate it completely. And it might work for a little bit, but there's no longevity in that because you're not actually showcasing who you are and there's no authenticity behind it. And I think at the end of the day, that's really what people want to follow. They want to follow people that are authentic. They want to follow people they can relate to. So I think it's too easy to fall into a trap of just posting stuff to get likes as opposed to posting stuff that actually engages with people, right? And I think also a lot of people, there's too much of I think a lot of people get too caught up in the entire social media thing instead of like focusing on what they're doing. And they're always, because we have access to what everyone else is doing, you can see what everyone else is doing. I think it's too easy to not focusing on what you're specifically doing and like who you are and what your message is and what your niche is or whatever. Like, I think it's too easy to get lost in the weeds a little bit there. True. And so I think those are kind of like the more important things when you're trying to like talk about building a brand or building a social media or following or whatever. Like, you need to be authentic and you need to have some sort of message that resonates with people and that people can connect with, or that they want to connect with at least. Because really at the end of the day, that's what builds the community. That's why Gunsmith was so successful when we launched it, is because it was more than just the brand. It was a community of people that we built or that we curated together based around a similar message and similar values. And so like those people bought into the brand completely, and as well as supported everything that the brand supported, right? So like it just became this massive community. And so a lot of that was just, being ourselves and not trying to be like anybody else. You see that a lot, especially like in like the apparel companies out there now, especially like the fitness apparel companies, like they all look like carbon copies of each other. Like even like for example, Dark Sport. Dark Sport's a huge brand, right? But if you start looking at all these other fitness brands that are up and coming, a lot of them take stuff from Dark Sport, right? Or Iron Will, like they'll take stuff from those companies and like replicate it. And it's like, they're not, instead of being authentic, they're just taking something that's popular and like putting their twist on it, but it's really the same product. Thing, but
it's always hard to do that.
What is it's hard because you want to put something out that's successful, right? And you see something that's already successful and you're like, oh, I could just do that and just put my little, change up 10% of it, change up 10% of it and put it out as my own, and people will buy it because it looks very similar to that. But there's no like longevity in that, right? Because you have no brand identity. You've just manufactured something off of, you've copied somebody else's so.
Yeah, that's facts though.
Yeah.
But then and then my last, question is, because you are like the fitness guru, you're 260,
250,
we'll correct that. So like if, like you said earlier, you were like, 150 at some point, like, I guess what kind of message do you have for people out there who are trying to, get big or look better for the summer or just, whatever?
Consistency. Like that's the biggest thing of it. Like people want, and that's a big thing about with like social media is like everyone sees everybody on like social media like, oh my God, that guy looks amazing, or that girl's ass is amazing. Like I want that. But they don't realize that picture wasn't just them like working out 1 week, right? They didn't just work out for a week and then it's been consistent work over extended periods of time that have led to those results, right? You're just seeing a snapshot of what that person's life looks like, and you're like, oh, that person had, Dairy Queen last week, and they're, doing some glute kickbacks, and they look like that. That must be all I need to do. Secret, yeah, that's all I need to do, and in 2 weeks I'll look like that. No, it's consistency. Like, you gotta eat well, sleep, recover, train hard, over an extended period of time. Like 1 week is not going to matter. Just like one bad meal is not going to make you fat. One good meal is not going to make you lean. One good workout you know, is not going to make you shredded or strong or whatever. Like it's adding these on. It's consistency over time. And I think that gets lost a lot because of social media, but also because of like PEDs and like performance enhancing drugs and steroids and whatnot. Like people think that that's the shortcut. And so like, oh, I want to get those results. Screw taking, you know, 4 years of training to get to that point. I'm just going to hop on a cycle and I'm going to get there because my favorite influencer did that. And it's sad because it's really not as complicated. Like fitness in general is not as complicated as people make it out to seem. Like it's consistent training. You know, it doesn't even matter if you're training hard necessarily. If you're working out consistently 4 or 5 times a week and you don't miss a week for an entire year, you're going to see results. Like I guarantee you'll see results. If you're eating consistently, like a well-balanced diet, you know, getting your good amount of protein in, not overindulging on calories too much or not eating at too much of a deficit for too long. And if you're sleeping, you know, 6-7 hours a night, you're going to see results. Like, but everyone wants to think, oh, it's the program that I'm doing, or oh, it's this diet plan that I need, or you know, it's these squat shoes that I need. Like it's not as complicated. Like there's all these extra things that people use to make money off of fitness, but it's really not that complicated at the end of the day.
Work in, basically.
You just have to eat decently, sleep well, and train consistently. And just do all that and work hard, get a sweat, you know, and you'll see results. Like now, you know, how quickly you see those results depends on how diligent you are with your diet, how hard you do train, you know, how good your genetics are, like a bunch of those things. But at the end of the day, it's really not as complicated as people say. It's hard work consistently over time.
Exactly. 1000% agree with you, James. And thanks again, you know, for being on my channel.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And you want to shout out your Instagram or your TikTok and all that real quick before we go?
Yeah, it's just James Mooney GC on everything. Like Instagram, TikTok, whatever. Or BlastHouse, IND.
And then you have online training?
Yeah, I do training there. My website's on my Instagram. If you want to check out BlastHouse, it's blasthouse.com or BlastHouse IND on all social media.
Great shirts. And
we have some apparel. We have some supplements right now. We're kind of like in a in-between time where we're trying to rebrand some stuff. So we're not going to get any new things in yet, but we have some stuff. Some pre-workouts, some greens, and others.
Yeah, I know the greens are pretty popular, right?
The greens are really popular, so that's kind of like, check it out.
Awesome. Thanks again. And then as always, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.